Hi students, so today we are going to learn how to start coding our HTML code. Okay, so basically to start off with this coding journey, you need to have this application or this software. Okay, this software is called Visual Studio Code, so you need to download from the internet and then you need to go to your search bar and then you type Visual Studio Code. Okay, so when you put Visual and you will come Visual Studio Code, you click on it, it will open and you will launch this software. Okay, so now before you start coding, you need to create a file. Okay, you need to learn how to create a HTML file. So how are you going to do it is you're going to click on file and you're going to click on new file. Okay, so when you click on new file, it will basically open for you a new file, and before that you need to save the file first. Okay, so how you save the file, you can either put on your use the shortcut Ctrl S on your keyboard, or you click on file, save as. File save as, I'm going to name this file as intro.html. Okay, so there are two methods. Either you put the extension here straight away, .html, or you can find the HTML over here and insert. Okay, so either one lah. Okay, so usually I will straight away put .html because easier, very quick. And then you press save. Okay, so once you save, you can see your file now is already a HTML file. Okay, so now once you create your HTML file ready, you're going to insert in the code. Okay, you're going to start your HTML code. So basically HTML code, you're going to start with the HTML skeleton. Okay, this is very important. Every time you start HTML code, you need to insert the skeleton. So please remember and understand how do you insert a HTML skeleton. So first of all, you're going to put in doctype HTML. Okay, don't ask me why it's doctype and so on and so forth. Basically, this is the code that is needed to insert for HTML. Okay, doctype HTML basically is called as document HTML. So you're going to declare that this document is a HTML document. Okay, and then the code that come after it is called HTML. Okay, so when you close, there will be a closing tag. Okay, this is what you call a closing tag. So basically HTML, each time you start an opening tag, there will be a closing tag. But just to let you know, not every tag has a closing tag, yeah? Okay, not every tag has a closing tag. Later, I will explain in further. Okay, so once you have this HTML, you press enter. So basically you're trying to tell that all the code that come after this is HTML code. Okay, and then as you can notice, as you type your code, there is this number popping up. Okay, basically this number is basically just to tell that the number of rows that you are typing your code. Okay, so let's say I want to tell that you have an error on you have a code error on number 4, row number 4. So it's easy for you to detect where is your row number 4. Okay, so that's for debugging purposes lah. Okay, so once you put in HTML, and then next you need to put in the head. Okay, the head, and then the next one is the body, B-O-D-Y. Okay, so this is how you put in the basic HTML skeleton. Okay, so each time you type your code, you need to save your code, because if you never save, you can see there is a round white button here. Okay, that means it's telling you that your code has not been saved. So how you're going to save your code? Either you press Ctrl S on your keyboard, or you can click on file and then click on save. Okay, two methods. So I usually use a shortcut Ctrl S on my keyboard. Okay, so this is the basic HTML skeleton. So once done, we're going to learn how to insert in the HTML code lah. Okay, so basically this is the skeleton, and now you're going to insert in your codes. Okay, so now you have two sections. You'll be asking me, what is this head section, body section? Okay, basically head section is where it contains all the information about the website. Okay, using a specific tag, like example metadata elements, and then you're going to put in external style sheet and then internal style sheet, so on and so forth. That one we will keep it for later. And then the body is where the content tags go in, where you want to display to the user. Let's say you want to display image to user, you put within the body tag. You want to display example text, like example paragraph text or heading text, you can put it within the body. So make sure you ensure where is the correct place to put in, because if you put it in the wrong place, then your content is not going to show. Okay, so make sure emphasize on where are you going to display your content. Okay, must always be in the body tag. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the first code that you need to learn is heading. Okay, so there are 6 types of heading in HTML. So we're going to start with H1, and then within the tag we're going to put this is a heading tag. Okay, so we put within the H1, this is heading tag. So that means you're styling this text as a H1. Okay, so same thing, I'm just going to copy. Okay, I'm just going to copy and then maybe I just put H2 first. Okay, I just copy this. Okay, I copy the one in the middle. I copy. Okay, and then I put within here. And then here put H3, and then I paste it within. Same thing, I put H4, and then I paste it. So each time you go to the next line, you just press enter, yeah. Just press enter. Usual how you used to type, that's how you do it. Okay. Don't need to think extra. Alright. So once you got until 6, so I want you to save. So you can see I never saved. So you press on the keyboard Ctrl S. Okay, so now you already put in your heading tag. So you'll be asking me, how am I to view my results for this code? Okay, how to view your result is you're going to click on run. So can you see on your tab up there is a run button? Click on run button and then you click run without debugging. Okay, run without debugging. So basically you will run into your browser. Okay, so you can see this is the file path of your file. That means where did you save your HTML file. So basically you can see you save it within your downloads, and this is your output. So as you can notice, this is the largest heading and this is the smallest heading. So that's why it goes from big to small. So you need to remember as well, H1 is largest heading, whereas H6 is the smallest heading. Okay, let's say you want to put other than heading, you want to put paragraph tag, can put paragraph, and you can put this is a sample paragraph. So let's say you got any paragraph to insert within your website, you can use paragraph tag. Okay, so you refresh and then you put here, this is a sample paragraph, it will appear. Okay, so basically your HTML website, the contents, right, you need to identify first whether it's a header or whether it's a paragraph. So if it's a header, it's best to use a heading tag. Okay, and let's say it's a paragraph, you better put a paragraph tag, because why? If you mix up, then your content will not appear accordingly. Okay, sometimes if you put paragraph as a heading, then it will be all very big. Okay, so that's why you need to identify first your content. Okay, so once done, as you can see up here, this is called a title. Okay, your tab over here is called a title. So now let's say you want to insert a title for your website. Okay, so you don't want it to be a default intro.html. Okay, because you never insert a title, that's why it is in this default. So you don't want it to be insert as default. So within the head tag, you need to put the title. So as I said, within the head tag is where you're going to put your information, your website information. So you're going to put your website information within the head tag. You're going to put example intro, HTML introduction. Okay, so you put HTML introduction within the head tag. So when you refresh, you can see now you will have HTML introduction here as the title. Okay, as a title. Oh, before I move on, each time you do changes, right, you press Ctrl S. Okay, so once you press Ctrl S, you want to see it reflect here, you need to refresh. Okay, you just need to refresh. You don't need to click on run and again, no need, because it's already running. Okay, it's already running. All you need to do is just refresh. Okay, you just click and refresh, it will be displayed here. Okay, can? So basically this is what you need to know for introduction lah, for HTML. Okay, so after this we will go into our next topic, so you can stay tuned. If you have any question, you can come and see me.